There's a growing sentiment among the younger generation that college education should be free and student loans forgiven. I'm not here to say whether this idea is right or wrong, but I don't think this addresses the root issue. This raises the question, what is the root issue? Simply put, the sentiment exists and continues to grow because there are so many college graduates that feel as though they did not get what they paid for. So, what do people think they're paying for? Well, in general terms, I would say most college students are under the impression that they are paying for an education and valuable skills that will allow them to break into their dream industry and make a good living. Yet, so many people find themselves having paid without that promise being delivered on. Since there's not much being done to combat this on a policy level, I'm going to do the next best thing and teach people about the economics of college. Today, this comes in the form of highlighting which college degrees are the worst return on investment when considering the average cost to get the four-year degree and the average salary of someone with that degree. As a matter of fact, every degree on this list can qualify as a negative return on investment because not a single one of these degrees results in an average earnings above the median of the United States, essentially meaning if you get this degree, you're paying money to be behind the curve. Some might call these the worst or most worthless degrees that you should avoid at all costs, but value is in the eye of the beholder. So if a degree you are interested in pursuing is on this list, don't feel discouraged, as I'm not trying to say there's something wrong with you for being passionate about that field. Rather, I hope this information helps you to start finding an alternative education pathway so you can pursue your passions while avoiding a mountain of debt to obtain a degree that isn't going to earn you any additional money. A great place to start, if you're interested in liberal arts subjects, is with free courses on the topics provided by some of the top universities in the world, like Harvard. Although these courses don't award you a degree, the information and skills learned are what count, so why would you pay money when the information is free? I say this knowing it is absolutely true that life is not all about money, but avoiding debt that you can never escape from and will forever struggle to pay off is incredibly important, as most people work to live rather than live to work. And getting stuck in a minimum wage job after spending upwards of $50,000 and having $50,000 of debt does not sound like a recipe for contentment in life. With that disclaimer out of the way, I'm Seth, this is Acquired Salary, the best living through career mastery, and let's kick things off with the fifth worst college degree, General Social Science. I like to think of General Social Science degrees as a discount version of psychology degrees minus the discount. A psychology degree is one of the most popular degrees, which means there's a large supply of people available to work the jobs that demand the skills learned in the degree. There are viable jobs out there for psychology and general social science degrees like social workers, but they're not all that great in terms of the average salary because of the supply and demand curves, and you will face a fair share of difficult days with people going through mental health crises. Further, if you want to become a full-blown psychologist or licensed professional, you often have to continue to a master's or PhD, which is further schooling. Psychology classes are incredibly interesting, but there are a great many psychology books you can pick up and read to learn the concepts without having to go through a full psychology or general social science degree for. I have a few of my favorite psychology books listed on acquiredsalary.com's reading list if you want to get started without going to school. With general social science and psychology out of the way, we can move on to the fourth worst degree, performing arts like theater, drama, and dance. The reason performing arts degrees are one of the worst degrees is because performance is difficult to learn and teach through a book. The best way to learn these skills is by doing them. The only time getting a performance arts degree is worth it is if you manage to get into one of the top schools for performing arts and gain access to a network of people that will facilitate your entry into the field to become a star. Otherwise, you'll end up spending a ton of money to make an average of $38,000 a year, which is roughly half the median earnings of an individual in the United States. This is in large part because so many people have high aspirations and are looking to get their lucky break, making the competition for roles that could bolster your earning capacity in the field very high. The third worst degree is going to be religious studies / theology. This is akin to a philosophy degree. The truth is, there are so many free resources out there which you can study on your own. In addition to that, there are many incredibly detailed lectures on religion, theology, and philosophy on YouTube. If you engage yourself in studying what is freely or cheaply available, you can become a thought leader in the space. By becoming a thought leader in the space, you can obtain a job in the field. Furthermore, this creates a great rule of thumb for any degree. If the word studies is in the major, then it's likely a degree that is not worth paying money for, as you can find plenty of online curriculum for free, as well as perform some self-study. By not paying money, you may have to put in more effort to become well-versed in the space, but this effort can save you upward of $50,000. If you go to a college and study something else, you likely have a few elective credits available to you. So if you want the experience of taking a college course in the space, you can still do this while obtaining a degree that is going to provide you more value and a higher return on investment. This gets us into the second worst degree, which is going to be anthropology/archaeology. In terms of actually finding a job in this field, this is actually the worst because there's very little growth in the space, and with how many people are graduating with the degree, there's a lot of competition. Again, this hurts the supply and demand curve, meaning if you do manage to find a job, it won't be a high-paying one. The truth is, breaking into the field actually requires creativity and networking rather than a degree. So, investing 4 years of time, networking, and trying to break into the field will be more beneficial as a use of your time. With that, we can get into the worst and most worthless degree. And if you've made it this far, this one likely won't surprise you because it's been memed into oblivion for being useless, and it's gender studies. First off, it checks the box of having studies in the name, making it a degree you could self-study. Outside of that, what kind of jobs are actually available in the field besides the Ponzi scheme that is further education in the space to get a PhD so you can teach in the space and perpetuate that cycle? Gender studies is an outgrowth of postmodernism and postmodernist thought, and essentially this is a niche down philosophy degree that has virtually no way to provide value to the world aside from sowing political turmoil. And with that, if you've made it this far into the video, I'm sure you have some thoughts of your own related to some of the worst degrees. I'd love to hear what you think and how does this match up to your lived experience. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to this channel, as in the near future I'll be releasing more videos on the topic of college and how to make it worth it and how to fix the broken system that it is. Until next time.